What's up, Internet? I'll tell you what's up. It's my birthday! Damn, I'm so freaking old. But to help me feel less old, we're gonna play through an old game that I played the hell out of when I was a kid. I already made a video about this honoring the previous save slot holder. And now we're gonna just straight up murder his file. So, sorry Ash. We're going to enter the world of Pokemon and go on my own Pokemon adventure. Registered trademark. Actually, that was sort of more or less the name of the manga. That's Anita Reno. Now, if you're not familiar with the plot of Pokemon, where the hell have you been? Jack? Huh. Well, Ash is the name of the character from the anime, who I despise, who used a stupid Pikachu because he was stupid enough not to actually make a sensible selection, or show up the day of, I don't remember. Red was the name of the protagonist from the manga, and is the canon name of this character, but we're going to enter our own name, which will of course be Fury. And this is his grandson, our rival, who in this game kind of comes off as a colossal dick, but gets sort of rewritten as your friend. Now, Blue is the canon name of this character, and the name of the character from the manga, kind of. Actually, he was initially named Green, and then they kind of retranslated it to Blue. The manga's a little bit inconsistent about that. Gary's the name of the character from the anime. No idea where John came from, although John and Jack are basically the same name. In fact, they're abbreviations of one another somehow. I'm not sure how that works. We're gonna call him... Fafimon. So this is his grandson, our rival Fafimon. And we have to go kick his ass at being awesome Pokemon adventurers or something. Now, if you don't know the old school story of original Pokemon, you're 10. Well, actually, as of today, I'm 27. Oh, that sounds so bad to say it out there. I'm so freaking old! But in-game, you're 10. You've just gotten your Pokemon license. Now you should go grab a Pokemon from Professor Oak, but you're too late, you get a Pikachu because you're inept. That's if you're following the plot of the anime. If you're following the plot of the game, you're some dumb kid with an awesome haircut, who had a Poliwag since he was a kid, accidentally released every single Pokemon Professor Oak had, and then sort of stole his Bulbasaur. And if you're following the actual plot of the game, you're some guy who just wandered into some grass one day. And suddenly that makes you somehow qualified to fight alongside awesome monsters of unspeakable power as your friends, or something, all while keeping them confined in a tiny ball, releasing them only to fight, which is kind of grim, which is why PETA made a bunch of knockoff games about it, which is probably the only reason PETA is remotely relevant nowadays anyway. Yeah, we walked into grass. Now, here's the most crucial thing we're going to do today. The single most important thing we could do. And that is that we have got to make a choice. A life-changing choice. And a choice that we get to make before Fafimon, but it doesn't matter because he's going to circumvent whatever we pick by picking the one that's statistically better. But he's got 3 Pokemon, as opposed to the manga where he has pretty much all of them. And he's going to give us each one. And he lets us choose. And we get to go first, so we get to pick which monster we want. So the question is, which monster do we want? So let's go just row by row and see what we got. We have Charmander, number 4. basically a cross between a flamethrower and a dinosaur. We have a tiny turtle capable of hiding and cowering, and a vegetable. So, despite this being a giant, important, life-changing decision for us, it's not remotely a question what we're picking. We're picking the badass dinosaur with a flamethrower attached to it. So we received Charmander. And we should nickname it, because when I was a kid I never nicknamed it, but I've since sort of nicknamed every Pokemon I've ever gotten as I've grown up. And I think we're going to name this one in honor of Secret of Mana getting a re-release, and it being a game I really like. We're going to name our badass flamethrower dragon Flammy. And now Fafimon here is going to walk over and take the thing that is statistically better because rock, paper, scissors stats in terms of elements. Since I've got the fire one, he picked the water one. And that's one of the biggest problems Pokemon's had over the years. Not that your rival always picks the better one, though that is very much the case. More the fact that as each generation adds more monsters, because they always seem to need to, they add more elements, and they always need to rewrite how it works, and there's so many stats and different elements to consider now that it's just hard to figure out. I mean, water beats fire, fire beats grass, there's like a dozen different elements in this game. It's easy. But like then they added dark and steel, it's like okay, and then the next one, they added a few more, and it's like, eventually it just got confusing, and they rewrote previously existing ones' elements to better fit them, which completely changed how they worked. New Pokemon is overly complex, and I still don't get it. And that's why there's a, like, element effectiveness indicator in the newest ones. Because it's getting overly confusing. Now this is a fight you can very much lose, and that's why I picked up the potion at the beginning, because you can very quickly lose this game. Or this fight, anyway. But, take that, Squirtle. Flammy is the best flamethrower dragon of all time. Now, harkening back to when I first played this game, the very first time I played this, I used one Pokemon. In fact, right outside Celadon City there is a Gambler that I have affectionately named Gamblor. And when I beat Gamblor, my Charizard hit level 100. Because you can basically steamroll this entire game with one monster. Now, I'm not going to do it this time. I'm going to, you know, do the proper thing, get a team, level them up and whatever. I don't really have a preset team in mind. I think I'm supposed to steal a map from you or something. I only done it a few times. Maybe I gotta come back later, I don't know. But I do have 3 sort of preset ideas of what monsters I want. I want my Charmander, I want the other 2 Pokemon I captured first, which we'll run into eventually, and then we'll try and catch them. Other than that, I don't know. If you have preferences, let me know. I'll probably just figure it out as I go. In advance, if you have a personal preference between Eevee Evolutions or those 2 fighting dojo monsters you get for free, let me know. I don't really have a preference. I don't think I'm going to be using them, but I will be collecting them for, lack of a better term, completion's sake, although I'm not going to remotely try to complete this game. I guess if I'm going to use Eevee, I'd probably prefer Jolteon, but I think all Eevees are kind of crap, and those fighting monsters, one has a bunch of elemented attacks, but it's kind of crappy. The other one's really strong, but it's... I got him the first time I got a fighting from that dojo, and it sucked, so I don't know. I think they're both kind of crap. So I don't know. I guess I'll just figure it out as I go. But, yeah, we're on our little Pokemon adventure with our new friend Flammy, the flammable dragon. We're gonna kick some ass, take some names, and burn all the opposition to the ground who makes fun of me for being old. Ugh. kind of interesting, though. Like, I got two sort of serendipitous birthday gifts, just to talk about me for just a sec. On one hand, Secret of Mana Remake, although I'm not thrilled about it. And the other, YouTube telling me I can't monetize my videos anymore. So go hit my Patreon up. Not so subtle plug. Seriously, the whole nonsense about that's bullshit, and it doesn't really affect the people who are causing all the problems, so I don't know how this is a solution. I've even read, like, business analyst blogs about this. It's like, it doesn't make sense what you're doing, stop it! But, I don't care, I'm playing Pokemon, I'm reliving my... Oh gosh, I must have been, like, 7 when this game came out. It's been, like, 20 years since this game came out. Or something like that, something close to that, anyway. Yeah, you're giving me a Pokedex, you want me to fulfill your dream for you, which means I have to capture all the monsters, which, spoiler alert, I'm not doing. I just want to kick this guy's face in at the end of the game. Because, spoilers, your rival is the final boss. I know. The guy who's a colossal bellend just happens to be the biggest bellend in the game. So, he wants me to capture data on every Pokemon, yet he leaves one exclusive Pokemon on the table, and I can't get it. Can't get it anyway in this game. The only way to get it would be to trade with another game, which I'm not going to do. Although I do have the game link cable for you youngins out there with your Wi-Fi and your instant trades where everyone's looking for Mewtwo's and only giving away Beedoofs. Modern gaming sucks. I shouldn't say that, but that whole auto trade system with the new Pokemon is just weird to me. It's like everyone's trading like the bottom of the barrel monster and only wanting the top tier stuff. It's like, how do you figure that's gonna work if you're not willing to put it in, buddy? But, oh, I think I get a potion if I talk to this guy. Let's see. Viridian, I believe, means green. I think. I believe it comes from Verde. I think it comes from Verdant as well, so... I think there's some shared connectivity. I don't know. I'm tired. It's ridiculously early in the morning. People are still making loud noises. It's still blizzarding. I'm still trapped in here. Although I'm basically just a shut-in anyway, so it doesn't bother me much, but... wish it could be a little quieter. And we should keep an eye out, because we're going to actually see the other 2 of the 3 Pokemon I want right away. And I need some Pokeballs. I don't think I have any right now. Let's do a quick check. Item. No, I just have potions. Okay. So we'll scratch this guy out. You silly Pudgy. And we'll move on with our lives. Also, those unfamiliar with old school Pokemon, and only familiar with new school, old school Pokemon actually came out with 3 versions instead of 2. But only in Japan. There was red, blue, and green. And everyone makes a big deal about Pokemon Green, but what they don't get is Pokemon Green is what we got as Pokemon Blue. So what you want is Japanese Pokemon Blue, which is, for lack of a better term, what actual Pokemon Green would be, in our perspective. Although, functionally, the only differences are some sprites, and you can catch Mr. Mime and Jinx. I don't know why I know that. Don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. You're done. Bam! Taking him out with a crit. I'm proud of you, Flammy. Level 8. So let's go out to our town, Viridian City here. This is a city, although it's like 4 buildings, so I'm not sure how that constitutes a town. That's barely a township. Yes, heal my monsters for free. Although I have a suspicion they're secretly disintegrated and they're actually clones. So it's not even the same Charmander anymore, maybe. I don't know. Controversial topics. Okay, we gotta buy some Pokeballs. That should be enough. Yeah, that should be enough. I don't think we're gonna need many. I don't aspire... I can't buy potions? That's weird. Okay, so let's go to try and catch our second and third Pokemon, if we can. I think we're actually going to run into our rival again, which is kind of a problem. If I recall, there's a secret up here. Is it here? Or is it up here? I remember there was a secret up here somewhere. You just gotta, like, search empty tiles or something. I guess not. Weird. So we go this way, and I think we run into our rival at some point, but we want to be here. Because this little patch of grass is what we really want. There's a Rattata. Now the thing is, I don't want to level Flammy up too much beforehand, because what I want to catch could, like, get taken out real quick. I'm not suggesting we grind or anything, but I would like to be able to actually catch our monsters. Okay, so this is Nidoran female, and this is one of the few monsters in this game that is available in both games, Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue, but as I understand, there's like a better ratio of you finding female ones in Pokemon Blue. So we're more likely to find male ones, which look a little bit more like bunnies, whereas those ones look a little bit more like, I don't know, hamsters or something. So let's try and get one. And I don't think I'm gonna, like, grind or anything too much. But I'd like to... There's our bunny. Nidoran male. Actually, I just realized, aside from Nidoran male and Nidoran female, first generation Pokemon, all the monsters were completely gender neutral. So I guess, in a way, Pokemon's become, like, less gender accepting, I guess? Because it's stuck more definitive genders on everything since then. It's weird. Oh, come on. Yeah, and you're taking my defense down, which is a problem, because I need you to take my health down, or my attack down. Okay, we caught our boy Nidoran. Just take a look at our Pokédex. Big apologies, I'm about to make a whole bunch of noise because some stupid Apple pop-ups just came up. Go away. I don't want to update my stupid thing. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I didn't want to update my stupid... Yes, we wish to update Nidoking. Now, what should we call him? Well, he ends up becoming a Nidoking. So, we should probably tie it around a name that's sort of regal. Oh! We will call him... I hope I spell this right. B-R-Y-A-N-T. Bryant. For Regal Bryant. Awesome. Let's take a look at our new buddy, Bryant. Please tell me you have... Okay, you actually have Tackle. So, he's a bit low level. We should take that into account. And, we still have one more Pokemon we gotta catch, but we gotta go heal this guy up a little bit. Because, again, we're not gonna grind or anything, but I want to at least get my early monsters to be at least kind of sort of in a general similar level. So I want to get, like, my other one and this one, like, probably level 5 each. So this might get a little boring, but I think it would be worth it in the end. Looking back on it, though, this game, it's both really in-depth and really bare bones, because there's no... Again, outside of Nidorans, there's no gender, there's no abilities, there's no hold items. So for all those fans out there of experienced Share doing all the work for you, not in this game. In fact, there is no experience share. There's an item that's kind of sort of similar called Experience All, but you don't get that till way late in the game. Don't kill me, don't kill me. Alright. Also, if you catch a Pokemon, you don't get experience from it, unlike new Pokemon games. We're gonna catch ourselves a Pidgey. Everyone makes fun of the humble Pidgey, even today, even back then, but you know what? Even now, Pidgey, and Pidgey's still one of my favorites. Now what are we gonna call this guy? Oh, I know. I should probably give an uppercase. E-P-H-Y-R. Zephyr. I think I spelled that right. Okay. So we're gonna go heal up, we're gonna go level them both up to level 5, and then we'll go fight our rival again, because I think there's a second rival fight where he's got a second monster now. And then we'll make our way to the Verdant Forest of Viridian. But let's just take a moment, look at our Pokemon, and let me just tell you right here, these three right here are at least the pre-evolved versions of three of my favorite monsters, so I've kind of got the dream team started. Although those are pretty much, with the exception of like the secret boss of this game, pretty much the entire dream team I can get in this game, so. I'm open to suggestions for what else I should put on my team, but so far, we're gonna go with our good old trifecta of Pokemon Red. Although you could get them in Pokemon Blue, I guess, although you'd have a hard time getting a Nidoking. This game is also really interesting because, unlike Pokemon games today, and our Nidoran here is a great example of it, you can't evolve monsters without there being consequences. Like, if I were to evolve my Nidoran at the earliest possible points to get to, like, the highest iteration, I'm gonna have to swap again, it would actually lose out on one really kind of kick-ass attack. So you actually have to hold out on it, which kind of sucks a lot. But, I get it. You want to try and plan strategy with your monsters a little bit. And unfortunately, slow going is how it's going to start. But this will ensure that the All-Stars are ready to proper kick some ass when the time comes. Although, ideally, I don't want to level up my Charmander much more until we get to the next big town. I really got to remember that we're going to start with Zephyr here, because I think we could probably level him up and then just use 2 of the 3 and then leave Flammy out of it without having to segregate EXP, because RPGs! You'll see it when I get out of this fight, but fun fact, outside of this there's like a giant field of grass that I guess is just like, it's just background really, but since I was a kid I always wondered how to get there, and like what was in that magical patch of grass that you can always see but you can never get to, and there's been tons of mysteries in this game, like, of course, the famous truck. How did you crit me twice, you jerk? Fine. Ooh, almost used Leer. Don't want to do that. If I can help it. Ha! Critted back. And this is unfortunately what our life has devolved down to for the moment. We could move on, but the fact is I always feel comfortable having a team that's at least kind of sort of competently prepared. I don't want to start out and just like get completely destroyed. But I'm kind of excited to get back to old school Pokemon. And who knows, if we can get through this, maybe we'll try Gen 2 Pokemon after, maybe. I'm not sure if this is going to be like a consistent thing, like, normally when I make a series I tend to have at least like 10 episodes done in advance just so I can just pop them out when needed and not have to worry about rushing for scheduled releases, but this time I really kind of couldn't just because of a bunch of life stuff getting in the way. So unfortunately, this is unfortunately what we're gonna have to deal with. So it might not necessarily be a scheduled release thing. I'm hoping it will be. And I'm gonna try and get at least one more episode done tonight. But let's try one more heal, and that should be enough to level them up, I think. Or at least level Zephyr up. But welcome to Preparing Yourself in RPGs. It's a very boring, grindy edition. Hopefully there's no more of this afterwards. Now you see, credit to much younger me, who steamrolled the entire game with one monster, though. There wasn't much of this. There was one moment where I was stuck in a cave where you needed an ability I didn't have, and I just had to sort of bumble around. I inadvertently grinded there, but for the most part, there wasn't much actual grinding. It was just fight everyone that gets in your way. Move on. But alas, such is the problem with RPGs, I guess. Actually, this is why I didn't like RPGs all that much as a kid. Kind of why Secret of Mana is so important to me is it taught me that RPGs aren't necessarily always about just having bigger numbers. Because that's what RPGs were to me before that. It's just, oh, my number's bigger than your number, so I'm going to win. And I hated that with a passion. How is that a crit? Okay, If you don't crit me, I might be able to take you out. You're gonna crit me. Nope. Ha! It's that royal blood, it's super lucky. Bryant grew to level 4. Awesome. I'm not sure if they'll be able to actually stand on their own legs now, but at least we're making good progress. I'd like to get them both to level 5 before we try and... At least, I remember there being a cutscene with your rival. Before we go see him again. And the only reason I'm even doing that is because, at least when I was a kid, no one knew that was even there, because people just sort of ignored that part. And I'll show you what I mean. But where we got our Nidoran friend Bryant here, there was another place towards the Pokemon League. Thanks, Brain, for complete brain fart there. But there's the path to the Pokemon League where they turn you away, but there should, if my memory's correct, be an extra scene with your rival. And I can reminisce about something while we're there. So that's kind of nice. Old Man Fury can keep talking about how you dumb kids have it so easy. With your Pokemons that tell you exactly what's weak to what, and your fairy types, and your, like, 12 different Eevee evolutions. Back in the day, we had 2. No, we had 3. Thanks, Brain. You can tell I record these at, like, 5 in the morning. And I'm going a little cabin fevery. But, we had 2 in addition to the 3. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, Pokemon 2, which had 2 Eevee evolutions. Okay, Sand Attack. That move is absolutely legit. Especially if you picked Charmander like we did. And if you've got that rare Pokemon Yellow that isn't so rare, but if you were that one guy who stupidly chose a Pikachu and decided to fight a Rock Gym, then you might have troubles. Unless you have Sand Attack, which actually harkens back to, once again, when I was a kid. Because the second time I played Pokemon and I had these monsters with me, I never focused on attacks that didn't do direct damage, which, having grown up, I realize is a stupid thing to do. I have since learned from my ways. And, I will now do attacks that actually don't do direct damage. I will learn the value of poison and Sand Attack and stuff, okay? And to save myself some time, I'm going to stupidly use one of my limited resources just so I don't have to go back to town. Which is probably a bad idea, but we're going to do it anyway. And we're gonna go in here and fight another Pidgey. Because that's what we do. We fight Pidgeys with our badass spiky rabbit thingy. And hopefully not get my ass kicked by a Pidgey, please. Doing about 5 damage each, which means I can take one more. Although I am hitting you faster, so if you don't crit me, I should be able to take you out. Boom! Level 5. Alright, let's go face our rival. Oh, and I can reminisce about something kind of important to me that Pokemon still hasn't really lived up to, even though it's now like 20 years old, 25 years old at this point, or however old it is. Because back in the day, we had Pokemon Red and Blue, right? And after Pokemon Red and Blue came out and were a smash hit, they decided to release Pokemon Yellow Special Pikachu Edition, which, yes, as a child I did own. I'm genuinely not that big into Pokemon anymore, but I had the first 3 generations. But I want to say it was a screenshot from right here, and there was 2 screenshots. It was of Pokemon Yellow before it released, and it was of this grass, and you could see the trainer just standing on the stairs, and you could see Pokemon walking in the grass. So it looked like, and of course that's not in the final game, but it looked like they got rid of random encounters, and you just could actually see the Pokemon wandering around. That blew my mind. And the other thing was a very early fight with your rival, which had a picture of an Eevee, which I thought was wild, so you could get all the Eevee forms. Yeah, see? Scene with this guy. Hey, Faffymon. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. I have badges. I've got badges out the wazoo. And now I fight this guy. A lot of people didn't know this fight existed. Did you? Probably. Because you're probably a much smarter person than most people I know. That Pidgey is level 9. I'm not prepared for this. Okay. This is a problem. So, who's ready to watch me get my ass kicked? Okay, so I'm weak. Best to use Flammy, I think. Okay, good. I wish I'd leveled a little more. I genuinely don't remember this guy being strong. I remember him having a Pidgey, but I thought it was like a level 3 Pidgey. Well, the nice thing is, if we can take this Pidgey out, regardless of what monsters we have left at the end of it... Oh, please don't miss. Awesome. Haha, critted. And Bryant leveled. Awesome. And so should Flammy. No? Okay, Faffymon uses Squirtle. Okay, we're gonna use Zephyr. Level 8. Why would you level your Pidgey higher than your starter? Oh no! He's got stabs. Actually, I'm not sure if stab even existed back then. Which is, of course, if you're into Pokemon, same type attack bonus, which means if you use a water type and you use a water move, you do more damage. Which is why it's important to have attacks of the same element with your Pokemon. And this is why it's important to use Sand Attack. Especially if you've got Pikachu and you decide to fight Brock. You will get steamrolled by Brock if you don't use Sand Attack with a Pidgey. Helps if you have Stab as well. But only if you're using Charmander. If you're using Pikachu, you're just well and truly screwed. How did you hit me so many times? Your accuracy should be nothing. I mean, I get it, I got lucky. We'll swap to Bryant, he seems to know what's up. I don't want Flammy to get all the experience. And that's the value of Sand Attack. That was really kind of clenchy there, but hey, Bryant leveled up again. Awesome. And Zephyr leveled up. Awesome. And we defeated Fafimon. Genuinely, I absolutely did. I'm not calling that skill at all. Nah, we could get him. We could totally get him at level 8. Is our best monster at this point. Okay. So we're going to swap our lowest monster out to the front, just so he gets all the experience. Hopefully not get ambushed here. Make it back to the Pokemon Center. Heal up and move on, because we've now seen the fight against Fafimon 2. Electric Boogaloo. We now have a significantly overpowered Pidgey. Boogaloo. Seriously, why would you level your Pidgey that high over your starter, though? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I love Pidgey, but I love my Pidgey. I love all my Pidgeys, really. Pidgeys are awesome. But, hell, one's on my dream team, but... Okay, this guy, he's important. He teaches you how to catch Pokemon, and he also breaks the game. That makes him, like, the most valuable NPC ever. This here is a, I know it doesn't look like much. It looks vaguely like a piece of broccoli, but that's a tree. You have to cut it. You don't have cut. Also, apparently early versions of Pokemon didn't have HMs to cut or do anything. They had items, so you'd use like an axe or a saw. And I've never understood why HMs had to work that way. Although that said, in this game, using HMs on your monsters isn't the worst idea. Some HMs like Surf are actually like really good moves in this game. Yes, I'm going to the Verdant Forest. It's a natural maze. Awesome. I'm good with corn. Its bite is wicked? No, I didn't. I skipped them because they're stupid. They're proto-Bidooфs. Anyway, this is the little safety hut of protection-ness outside of Verdant Forest. And I'll see you next time where we continue my Pokemon adventure. Where we go through Verdant Forest. And, well, here's a little spoiler. It's a forest. I've got a flamethrower. It's gonna burn. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Peace out, Internet.